see a few minutes out there where the guys were again a little bit tentative and not really well connected, and that might have gotten a bit of a hole?
No, that was not moments. That was a big part of the especially like first half. We were not connected offensively or defensively. Everybody's were like kind of like walking on eggshells, and start of the game, all the turnovers that we had is the question of focus, and it's the question of like bringing that effort to the game. So that was lacking for the start of the game. We tried to find that groove later in the game, but not enough to make a comeback.
These guys are afraid to do too much, a little bit, or a little bit tentative that way?
I don't know. Like I'm not sure what's behind it, but we are always talking to guys to be aggressive and to play off of each other and to make right reads. And in order to play that way, you need to be aggressive. You need to be ready to shoot the ball and drive it. And we just from the start of the game, we let our guard down.
Darko, obviously it's a big change after Siakam was traded away. How do you feel the team is evolving or changing after that trade?
I mean, it's just the start. It's just the start of the process, and good thing over here is that we're gonna have 3 days without games, and opportunity to really practice and try to get on install offense and defense as much as possible, and try to get guys on the same page as much as possible in short amount of time. I believe in talent of this group, and I believe in our players. We just need to be more intentional behind everything.
Jonte didn't play in the second half. Was that just the injury from the first half, or the decision to go?
My decision not to play him in the second half. We went small because the Jaren Jackson was out, the stretch there as well, and then I thought that Ted gave us a good punch there in the second half.
When it comes to that practice over the next 3 days, installing stuff for guys, is there anything at the top of the hierarchy or at the top of your to-do list that you want to get this team doing?
For sure. Just like to be better organized on offensive end, that we know who is in what spots, what are we running, the play calls. Like a lot of times, like if you don't call anything, we're just randomly playing basketball out there. And I want us to be unpredictable, but I don't want us to just random play basketball. So we'll need some time to work and install and understand where guys need to be on the court and how to play off of each other. I thought that Scotty did some really good stuff on the post-ups and creating off of that. But we need to watch film. We need to get better. We need to put the work in. This is just the start of the process.
Has it been really helpful? You guys run a lot of delay with that. A lot of players just know that. Has it been really helpful to just be able to throw him out there and initiate that in the in-between stuff?
For sure. But Ted is doing a good job of connecting and finding guys. But we need to get better of reading how defense is guarding us when they're switching go ball screens. We're not switching. When we need to go into tight curls. When we need to pop back for a shot. Yeah, and what are opportunities are over there? Like what are we looking at? So we're at the beginning of training camp right now, and this 3 days are coming in good time for us.
You mentioned before the game you wanted to get Emmanuel 8, 9, 10 three-pointers a game. I'm sure if you've told us that, you've probably told him that. How do you get him to a number that's higher? I think he only had 1 in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta watch film. He gotta see opportunities. I felt that he had a couple of opportunities to get him up that he did not take them. And also, I think that team needs to look for him more as well. That guys gotta be more aware, So. It's going to be watching film. It's understanding where are the spots on the floor. How do we use him in pick and rolls? Like he can create pick and roll threes. We got to do a better job of setting those screens higher up the floor because defense is always going over on him, and he needs to be able to get that in that gap there to get those shots.
You decided to go with Grady to close the game. Why did you make that decision?
Just wanted him to get experience of closing the game out there, to be with those guys. He did a lot of good stuff lately, so he deserved the opportunity.
situation like this, the team's been struggling and a lot of changes. What kind of example or message do you try to deliver in your role?
For me, it's more so about like always just staying the course. We've explained to the team probably a week ago and just said like, we've had a lot of change within a month, and what you having a lot of change in a month, like it's unfamiliar territory, and to get over that, we just got to continue to play, continue to stay the course, but also like understand that when we're putting together schemes and we're putting together different things and situations, try to execute those to the best of our ability, and and just don't do nothing out of the ordinary. Just play basketball, have fun, and just make sure we're continuing to stay the course throughout this process.
Before the game, Coach Rajakovic spoke about the importance of lifting each other up.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do specifically to try to lift up your teammates?
Me personally, like I'm always just in guys' ears, just talking to them, just saying, it's gonna be okay. Hey, this is what you need to do. Like just trying to give them the cheat sheet, really, just on like how, we have a lot of young guys, so how like I've continued to have this longevity in the league and continue to play, but also, just making sure that they're never getting too down on themselves. We have a lot of guys that, they get down on themselves, or they're really, really hard on themselves. And for me, I'm always trying to, get to the next play. Just making sure that, I'm uplifting the guys and making sure I'm keeping everybody positive. And the same thing with Garrett. Garrett does a great job of it as well, of just keeping guys positive, keeping guys' minds into the game, and not letting them worry about the plays that happened before.
You had a pretty solid performance today off the bench. What was working for you?
Just playing off Scotty. I know that Scotty's going to get a lot of double teams and a lot of guys that's going to try to take the ball out of his hands. So just playing off Scotty and just letting him make the reads and letting him make the plays, getting him the ball as quick as possible on mismatches, and forcing the double, and just playing off him. I try my best to just play off the guys that I know is going to get certain looks, and it's going to take other guys with them.
Veterans can oftentimes be considered like the bridge between the coaching staff and the younger players. Dealing with Darko and kind of being able to convey his messages to the rest of the roster and be that bridge, what's that been like so far this season?
We have such a young team, so when having young teams, when having young teams, you have young minds, and those young minds sometimes can let things creep in. But with having somebody like me and Garrett and OP on the team, we're able to kind of relay those messages from the coaches and make sure guys are staying in line with what we want to do as a team. And the good thing is, with having those young minds, they're very, very respectful. You have a lot of guys that respect us because we have a lot of time in this league. We've seen it, we've done it, and we've been in the position that they've been in. So they respect us a lot and they listen. And I think that's what kind of keeps us in check with what we're doing in the schemes and what we're doing in the process of trying to get better as a team.
You obviously spent a lot of time in Philly to start your career. I don't know if you saw him beat at 70.
Yes.
I mean, it's the Sixers record.
Yeah,
Any thoughts?
It's crazy. I say he had what 70, and Cat has 60, 62 or something like that. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. But congrats to those guys.
You guys closed tonight with Grady in there. Darko said he wanted to see Grady with that group. What are you seeing from Grady, and what are you thinking of that?
I'm seeing much more confidence than he had in the beginning of the year. I think him playing in the G for a little bit. I think during that road trip that we were on, Grady, found some confidence, and he's coming out and he's being aggressive. And that's all we ask for Grady to do is like when he touches the court, if you catch the ball, you're open, shoot it. If you have the drive, play it, play in stampede, playing .5 offense, drive the basketball, and just be aggressive. And he's doing that much more now. And then defensively, just stay solid on the defensive side of the basketball.
If you spoke to him earlier in the year, when we spoke to him earlier in the year, he's talked about how his confidence was never going to waver. Mm-hmm. But is that something that you kind of see if shots aren't going down and now you see something's changed there?
I just think, like I said, I just think his aggressive nature and his aggressive level is peaked up a little bit. And when you have guys like Grady coming in, as a rookie, you're gonna have a lot of opposing teams that's gonna try to take advantage of the opposing team's rookies. So, for him, it's about taking a stand and just making sure that he's being solid on both sides of the basketball, and I think he's starting to do that.
By definition, young players who are really, really good haven't lost much in their career just because, they've played for their college or high school and that makes them good. How, with Scotty, how do you impart the wisdom that, like, A, it's going to be okay, as you said, but also, like, people are looking at you as the guy on this team and it's important what you're giving off?
Yes, Scotty's special. Like, he's beyond his years. He's very wise. He's very smart. He knows how to play the game of basketball. He knows how to pick apart opposing teams. He knows how to use his God-given abilities. So Scotty's kind of like a different breed. He's one of those guys that you don't have to tell him much. But he listens and he puts it in his membrane. He computes everything, and he takes it into the game with him. And he does a great job of like just playing basketball, just playing the game and playing to the best of his abilities. So, you don't really have to say much to him, but he does respect certain guys who's been in the league for a long time, and he listens to the things that we're telling him, and he just tries to get better each and every day.
You got 3 days off, a couple of days of practice coming, and how much do you think that could help? Like, given how many changes and how little practice time you guys have had, is that something that's kind of necessary right now?
Of course. I mean, you have I was about to say 3 new guys. Like, I'm not a new guy. So yeah, like 5 new guys. So we're trying to get used to everything. And even from when I got traded here, we still had Pascal. So with him leaving now, it's a completely new team again. And we just gotta have the time to practice and to focus in on how we're gonna play now, with this new group that we have, and just make sure that we keep bringing just that fight and bring the competitive edge back.
You only had, I guess, really a few games with Yakov before he sprained his ankle, but I mean, you guys were playing well at the time. And is it kind of apparent that it'd be nice to have a 7-footer handy?
He's a game changer, man. Of course, having a 7-footer there changes the whole game. It changes the other team being able to drive and finish, and things like that. Having that rim protector there, also the rebounding, So we're missing him, but just gotta try to figure it out until he gets back. We have guys. We have enough guys to win. We just gotta figure out how to do that.
Since coming to the Raptors, you've been scoring the ball a lot. You've been shooting much better at the rim. A lot of your playmaking reads have been really advanced. The process looks really, really impressive. Is there anything you've changed remotely since arriving here that is a cause for that? It's just
I didn't change a thing. I didn't change a thing. It's just, this is who I am. This is how I play, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to be able to showcase that, and just the offense that we have, a lot of cutting, a lot of moving. So yeah, I'm able to be myself.
You've only been here 3 weeks. Does it feel longer, shorter?
It's been an intense, emotional 3 weeks. Definitely does not feel like 3 weeks, but yeah, the road trip made it feel longer than what it is.
There's a play that Darko took. Typically, you would run it at the start of the third quarter when you were with the Knicks and brought it over here. How much are you excited about the idea of, like, Darko over the next few days with practice, taking some of the stuff that did work in New York and like giving you even more packages within the Raptors offense?
I think it helps, and for sure, just with our offense that we have here, me being able to get downhill, like you said, tonight I scored the ball, but for the most part, it's just been trying to make reads, trying to make the best reads available. Tonight I was able to get all the way to the cup a lot of times, so I took that. But, a game like New York, they came in and I hit Grady for a couple threes last game. Just trying to make the right plays and see how the teams are guarding me, how they're guarding us, and just try to adjust based off of that.
We were too happy the other day about the free throws. Today, 5 for 6. I think the team had the best game of the season, 22 for 23. I mean, what was up with that today? Anything different?
You had to say 22 for 23, huh? You know I was the one that missed, huh? Okay. No, I mean, I think it was tough, man. We were driving a lot. You can't get every call that you want, but we made our free throws tonight. Big help. We need to do that consistently. I need to do that consistently. And just keep driving and make the right plays. You know, we have a lot of guys that can get downhill, that can finish, and make reads for kickouts. So if we continue to do that, I think we're going to be in good shape. For us, it's really just about being connected and figuring out what we have to do with this new group that we have.
Félicitations pour un bon jeu, même si vous avez perdu 29 points.
Merci.
Il y a eu beaucoup de changements dans l'équipe les derniers jours. Est-ce qu'en match avec 29 points, on peut dire que tu te sens de plus en plus confortable dans ta nouvelle équipe?
Ouais. Oui, je suis très confortable. C'est nouveau et c'est difficile, mais je suis confortable maintenant.
Il y aura 2-3 jours d'entraînement sans match.
Ouais.
Le prochain match, c'est vendredi.
Ouais.
Quel sera l'important justement d'avoir ce temps avec les coéquipiers,
ouais.
avec l'équipe, avec les nouveaux joueurs?
Oui, avec cette équipe, c'est très nouveau. Alors, ça va être bien. Les trois, on joue quand vendredi. Ouais, ça va être bon pour ouais.